Oh, hello. I'm sure there's not going to be anybody in the stream right away. I just rushed here. Oh my goodness. Oh, if anybody is here already, hello. I quite literally just got home. Oh, hey Marielle, hey Jackie, hey Mike. I literally 2 minutes ago pulled into the driveway. I had to close at work. I was trying to get out just like 10 minutes early, so I could get here that much quicker, have time to settle, before the live stream. And I got in my own way because I was rushing. So I got out on time for closing. But yeah, hold on. I'm just going to pull up the stream chat on my phone because it's a little bit quicker on YouTube. Hopefully everybody's having a great week so far. I know it's only Monday, but you know. Okay, there we go. I don't want to hear myself. Okay, just wanted to see the chat. Okay. Luckily, I was thinking ahead and I got everything ready for myself this morning because I knew it might cut it close. So, all right. So, let's start with a game. I did prepare a game. No, there's only a couple of you here, but hey, that's just more points to be had. I think all of you here have played. Oh, I forgot to load in the gore board. Sorry. I did forget that. I updated it from the last one. And I forgot to reload it. But I do have a scoreboard for all my live streams where I play like a little game. I'll add to it and you'll see it in the next live stream. Sorry, I thought I loaded it in here. Okay, so this game is going to be like a name that book, but I'm going to show you its film adaptation, and then I'm going to need you to name what book it was adapted from. So hopefully that makes sense. I'll show you the movie poster. You tell me what the book is. Easy peasy. Hasn't been the worst Monday. That's good. Oh, Mary, it's only Monday and I already want it to be over. Same, pretty decent Monday on Mike's end. Well, that's good. All right, let's start this game here. Hold on, let me just get to my game things. Okay, so the first one, I don't know if any of these are going to be easy or difficult, but we'll see. So here's your first movie. If you could tell me the title of the book that this is based on, please. Oh, I didn't realize. Tell me what book this came from. I forgot I'd still be on the screen. Woo! Name that movie. I'm gonna ask for the whole name. Ben Hellbound. Close. Marielle Hellbound. I'll give it to Jackie. It's The Hellbound Heart. Nicely done. Yeah, not just Hellbound. It's The Hellbound Heart by Clive Barker. So that one is going to go to Jackie, who got the whole title first. Jackie, I'll just write one. Should have had the gore board out so I could have known if you had points already. Nice one. What's a heart? Yeah, you guys were close. Ben and Marielle, you guys had half of it. You guys were close. Not far off at all. Okay. Here's your next one. You could tell me what book this movie was adapted from. I'm going to need the whole title. Sorry, probably should have said that before. What book did these come from? Hi, Colleen. You guys got this. Come on. Oh, Ben, sliding in there right off the bag. Nicely done, Ben. It is The Haunting of Hill House by the Queen, Shirley Jackson. I knew that one was going to be a fast fingers sort of round. was trying to find ones where the title was different, obviously, because that just would have been too easy. And there's not too many out there adaptations that don't just take the title right from the book. So this is probably going to be a one-time game because I think I might have exhausted all of the adaptations that don't share the title with the book. But good job, Ben. Good job, Ben. I think you're already on the board for sure. So that'll just be more points added to you. All right, here is the last one. So the movie is The Innocents. What book was this adapted from? It was also, I had to make sure I didn't find a movie poster that had the book title in it. There was a lot of posters for this one that had the book title on it. Let's see. Oh, I see Jackie in first. Nicely done with The Turn of the Screw by Henry James. That's 2 for Jackie. Nicely done. Good job. I feel like that one was probably the trickiest one, maybe. I guess not for you guys here because y'all answered really quick. I almost did the turning for that one, but I was like, nah, that's a little bit too easy. All right, good job to Jackie and Ben. If I had the gore board out, I'd be able to tell you, Jackie, if you were on the board already, but I know Ben is. So good job, you guys. Whew, all right. So I'm hoping at least a few of you in here read our April Creepy Book Club book, which is, sorry, I have my stack of books I read this month here, which is My Dearest Darkest by Kayla Cottingham. If you haven't read it, you're absolutely more than welcome to stick around and hang out. We'll talk about the stuff we read, other books we read at the end of the stream if you want to join in for that. But just be warned, there will be spoilers for the book. So more than welcome to stay. Just, you're not allowed to get mad if we spoil the ending. That's all. So this was our second or third YA book. Hold on, I know we read Clown in a Cornfield last year, and A Lesson in Vengeance was our second one. Okay. So this was our third young adult horror that we've read in how many years have I been doing Creepy Book Club? 3-ish. But yeah. Oh, Colleen read it, but maybe it wasn't my fave. All right, let's get into it. For anyone who is just sticking around and hanging out and you want to know what this is about, this is a kind of like boarding school, maybe like some dark academia vibes. We have a girl who's just transferred to a very like exclusive school. It's like not quite a school for the arts, but it's like it has a lot of different specialties. So people, kids, I should say, teenagers go to this school to, specialize in a certain area, and it's supposed to be really good to get into colleges and stuff. And when the new girl Finch goes to audition, on her way back, she gets into an accident with her parents, and both of her parents die, but Finch is miraculously saved. But of course, there's some weird stuff going on with Finch. After her, what she thinks is a near-death experience, turns out she actually did die, and an entity that lives in the tunnels underneath the school brought her back. And this entity, Neurosi, attaches herself to Finch and a couple other of Finch's classmates and starts asking stuff of them, so that Neurosi can grow stronger and kind of be like the eater of worlds. Like it seemed very like not just like I'm an old god and I just need to be like more powerful to do more harm. It was like, no, literally like I'm going to just like eat this planet. I'm just gonna destroy this earth. There will be nothing left. And she's like, look in my eyes and see all the the worlds I've eaten and shit like that. So it was very like intense villain. in this. But that's essentially what's going on. It's a young adult one, so you got like a little bit of teen drama in there. Of course, Finch has a love interest in Selena or Serena? Selena. I knew I was gonna botch that. Uh, seeing LGBT characters in a YA horror can't dislike. A bi queen, a quirky lesbian, yes, please. We love a quirky lesbian and a bi queen moment. Yeah, so if you couldn't tell, there is LGBTQ representation in this. We love to see it. I don't know any of these names you guys are saying, so sure. Azatoth, Galactus, no idea. If those are world eaters, yeah, kind of. Loved the eight-eye stag, hated the tentacles. Yeah, there's a lot. Like, it's not just a like dark academia kind of novel. There's like bits of dark academia, but it's very much kind of like it, where you have like this monster that kind of appears in different forms. Like you have like the eight-eye stag, and then you have like Neurosi as like a, just she kind of just looks like a teenage girl maybe. But she's like this huge tentacle monster. So kind of like it, like there's a lot more going on. So it's got a lot of different elements. A lot of different elements to it. And yeah. Thank you for mentioning that, Colleen. A Lesson in Vengeance was our other YA we read this year so far, and was also dark academia. And there were sapphics. So we love to see it. When next young adult, what do we pick? We have to do something other than dark academia, folks, as much as we love it. I didn't realize that both of them were so similar. Oh, as a Thoth, probably saying that wrong. Grandpappy to Cthulhu. Thank you. Found it to be a difficult book to start, but by midway through, it had hooked me and become more effortless to turn the pages. I agree with you on that one, Mike. Like, yeah, I was a little bit slow to start also. It took a little bit to get going and for me to kind of like figure out what was going on. But then I feel like pretty much once we introduce, I really should have written down their names. Who's the kid, the awesome kid who's obsessed with cryptids? Because once we meet him, I feel like I was like hooked. I'm like, okay, we're gonna solve this mystery. Felt a little Scooby Gang-esque. And yeah, I'm gonna Simon. Who's obsessed with the cryptids. Once we like met him and we start like really digging into like what Neurosi is and what's going on, that's when it started hooking me, and I finished it rather quickly after that. Thank you, everybody, correcting me in the comments. I appreciate it. Honestly enjoyed it. It wasn't a masterpiece, but it was a nice reading. Yeah. But yeah, I totally agree with Mike. Like, it was a little slow for me in the beginning, but it really picked up. Although I feel like in terms of, I guess, Neurosi and like what she's doing to the like this group of characters, like taking things from them and they're like receiving things. I feel like there were parts of the book where like that took a back seat like massively for more of like the teen drama stuff, because we throw in a coming out plot line in this as well, because Finch is not out when the book starts, and she discovers this thing about herself when she meets Selena, because she's trying to figure out why she is attracted to Selena and didn't like kissing Simon. And so I feel like that I don't want to say derailed it, because it was a nice little like subplot thing to go on, but I feel like for a while it took the front seat, and I'm like, what about the thing in the sewer though? What about the thing in the sewer? I want to know more about her. But like once it was like the horror parts, I was like, in. I liked the tentacle monster. I know not everybody did, but I liked the characters, but it felt like it didn't know how to wrap everything up or account for its own plot points. Yeah. Not to excuse the book, not like I'm sponsored or being paid or anything, but this is this author's first published book, I think. So could explain maybe little bits like that. So I think it's pretty solid for a first book for sure, but it's like one like because I love like the monster aspect. I feel like we don't see that so much in like the horror books that get super popular. So I'd love to see what this author does like down the line once they've maybe written more, such as the Past Students Band, the Settlers. How has Neurosi not destroyed the planet in the past? Yeah, I just assumed it was because she wasn't successful in getting like the heart, because the heart seemed to be like the main thing, I guess, that she's after. That's like the final piece. But yeah, it doesn't, we kind of just get the backstory that she tried the same thing on the band and I guess the Settlers in the past, and it just didn't quite go through. Wanted to hear more about Simon and the Cryptids and also more about the band. We need prequel novels, is what I'm, or like prequel novellas or something. Found it hard to suspend disbelief and move too quickly to sup Neurosi, like they were pals, and I was like, oh, right, tunnel demon. Yeah. Yeah. I was trying to like, I don't know if I'm like getting too old to read young adult anymore. I don't think that's a thing because I'm still going to read ones that I find interesting. But I was trying to put myself in the shoes of like a teenager also. Like if I met something, even if it was like in the tunnels under my school, but it was like giving me awesome grades and making my hair never frizzy ever. I would probably forgive a lot, at least for a while. Power levels seem oddly uneven, like a full-on ancient god that destroys whole galaxies but is now stuck in Maine and asking for teeth. Yeah, I think that was like really what was missing. I know like we all wanted more about like Simon and the Cryptids, and that sounds like a band in and of itself, Simon and the Cryptids, and the band that Neurosi tried this on before, but I feel like that's what we needed to know more of, like how is she stuck there? How is she stuck there? Feel like it tackled toxic relationships in an interesting way with Kira and Selena. Yeah. Yeah, like yeah, a lot of time was given to like the relationships between the characters, which it was like weren't like a bad thing. Like they were compelling to read, but maybe this could have been like a little bit longer, maybe just adds more, another chapter or two for more about the the tunnel demon. Sort of feel like they overlooked it once she gave them nice things. 100%. 100%. Like that was her in. Like just immediately show them her power and you'll forgive a lot of stuff. But yeah, I definitely probably needed a little more transition. I feel like I feel like Finch maybe reacted a little bit more appropriately. Like she has a conversation with Neurosi and then starts researching, but then she doesn't go talk to her for like a very very long time as she's trying to figure things out, and she kind of realizes something is off kind of early on too, especially once she starts seeing Neurosi giving the like those like gifts to her other classmates, and then she's like instantly suspicious. But the other girls were just like right off the bat. Right off the bat. I guess since we're talking about the characters, we kind of already talked about Neurosi a little bit in the way the story kind of played out. But like in terms of the characters, like who are your faves, least faves? How do we feel about like Finch's character arc? 'Cause I feel like there's a lot of character development. I don't know that any of the character development really had to do with what was going on. They kind of felt like 2 separate stories, if that makes sense. Like, Finch was, like, discovering herself and figuring all this stuff out. Selena had her stuff going on with her ex, Kira, and also we had a tunnel demon. It was kinda like a speed bump sometimes, like, "Let's deal with this tunnel demon first, and then we can figure ourselves out." Like, the relationships between the characters and a certain degree of crossed wires felt natural, but it felt like it started to enter into sitcom levels of poor communication. Yeah, I'm really not a fan of the miscommunication trope. I think that's a trope that needs to die unless it's done actually well, instead of, "This could be solved with a conversation." It's like, I know they're teenagers, but I loved the drama as a teenager. I'd definitely just bring it up to the person I'm having beef with, and let's get it out. Let's duke it out. Simon, yeah, Simon was definitely my favorite character and the librarian. Finch took a while to grow on me. I feel like I was more invested in her growth path. Yeah, I wasn't fully on Team Finch at the start. I guess kind of, I mean, we're just thrown right in to the like, not only are we just like thrown right in, but we're thrown right into this like really awkward situation she has at her audition when Selena and I think it's Kira who are hiding and they're drinking, and then they get caught during the audition, and then randomly Finch is just like, "Is that alcohol?" Like, I felt like that whole interaction was like really awkward, and I was just kind of like taken aback by that scene, and I was like, yeah, I wasn't fully on Team Finch because I was like, I don't even really understand like the motivation to do that. Even if I was in her shoes and taken aback by that, I wouldn't outwardly say like, "Is that alcohol?" Oh, Samara. I really wish there was an audiobook for that so I could have so I could have listened. Um, Underrated character. She was such a good friend. Not always appreciated. Yes, why didn't Finch mention her parents ever? Yeah. Yeah, because I think it's only, like, 6 months, I think, something like that, between when the accident happens and then when she starts going to the school. I'm not gonna tell people how to grieve, but still, it was a bit weird also. Was a bit weird also. Like Selena, but Finch irritated me. Was really sold on Kira gradually becoming the villain. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Tentacles happened. Yeah. I guess that's just, like, how much Neurosi could corrupt them. I think this would have benefited from, like, I know it sounds weird, but I think it would have benefited from, like, a Kira POV also, because I know we got Selena and Finch's POV throughout the whole book. I think we needed a Kira one because I think we would have gotten a whole lot more of Neurosi because she's the one that's going there constantly to talk to her, and we could have seen, even if it was just a few chapters, or like a couple chapters where it's like half the chapter was her whatever she was doing, because we would have got like a whole lot more of like what Neurosi was doing behind the scenes, because Finch like rarely goes to see her. So it's like we 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 get to see her a lot at the beginning and then a lot at the end and not so much in the middle. Finch felt like a walking trope, like another girl slash manic pixie. Hmm. Hmm. I don't know. Valid opinion. I don't know if I would go that far as to say she was like not like other girls. I didn't get that vibe from her. I think she was just trying to figure herself out, but yeah, I think it was more just like it was just weird that like the amount of time we spent on that, and it like really wasn't related to what was going on at the school at all. Like I feel like the two plots were completely unrelated, and like what was going on with Neurosi didn't like help her in any way, like in her personal life, like there wasn't any like discoveries like by going through this situation that helped Finch out. If that makes any sense. Yeah, she had a lot going on, and it just didn't seem like it was connected to the whole reason we're here for the book, which is the tunnel demon. We learned a lot about what TV shows they are watching on Netflix. Yeah. I think at 15, I would have loved Finch. That's a great point because I think if I had read this in high school, I think I would have been, like had one of those moments where I'm like wanting to like dye my hair white and just be Finch, I could see that. I could see that. Selena's growth arc, yeah, I think she had a really strong one. And Kira's also, even though it was like a bad arc, she turned out to be the villain. Like I thought their two storylines were a little bit more compelling. Even though I could like relate to Finch like a little more, I think. That doesn't necessarily mean they're your favorite character though. So and what are our thoughts on the ending? I know we kind of touched on the tentacle monster, like Neurosi is like full form, I guess. Like again, I feel like there wasn't much like if you actually think about what was like happening in the scene, not much was going on because a lot of it's going on. It's like a battle of like mind power, essentially, what's happening at the end. Which those moments can be kind of cool in books, but then I always like have the like intrusive thought of like, what's this look like on the outside? And it's probably just these two characters kind of just standing and like maybe like a vein popping out on somebody's head. Resolution was too quick and underwhelming. Yeah, I feel like I would have been okay with like a cliffhanger-y kind of ending because again, like this is like an eater of worlds, right? This is like an old god. Like I would have probably been more convinced if they had just trapped her again, and it kind of like band-aided the situation and didn't actually completely solve it. Like I think I would have been okay with that in this scenario, you know what I mean? Like it was too easy on purpose because they didn't actually defeat her. They just like kind of put her back at square one. Which I guess she's essentially harmless then again until somebody else finds her in the tunnels, and starts giving her hair and teeth or whatever. All I wrote for the ending was just tentacles. Tentacle monster. I didn't mind the tentacle monster aspect. I like having like an actual monster, I would have been happier if Neurosi was simpler. The stakes don't have to be the whole galaxy. Simply being powerful enough to leave the tunnels. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Because I feel like we're used to that a lot too, even if it's like a god or a demon or something. They're usually taking like human form and going around and like collecting souls, corrupting people, whatever it is that particular demon does. Was really expecting Finch to, be dead at the end. Yeah. So I guess I don't know if maybe that's also kind of a cliffhanger because don't they establish that it's like it's part of like Neurosi that brings Finch back, right? And that's why she brings her back for this purpose to bring her back into power, and that's her whole purpose. Like she was going to kill her anyway when she was done. I was kind of expecting that also. So like when they defeated Neurosi, then Finch would actually like be dead. So it's like, so maybe is that meant to be kind of a cliffhanger or like a the end question mark moment because they're still part of Neurosi's power within Finch? Question mark? I don't know. The ending was 100% for the love story rather than the horror plot. Yes. It was very cute. It was very cute. Left it open for a possible follow-up that a spark still. Yeah, spark, that's the term that they use. But yeah, it's like a piece of Neurosi or a piece of her power or something that could suggest something coming back. So yeah, maybe they did just band-aid over it and they didn't actually defeat the destroyer of worlds. Yeah, and Finch could like open doors. Yeah, she sees like things like shimmering or whatever, I guess where the veil is thin or whatever it was. And to Selena, I was kind of expecting all of Neurosi's gifts to reverse. So not only like Finch dying, but I was like waiting for when they like defeat Neurosi, like Selena's ankle is broken again and all this other stuff. I thought like all the gifts were gonna reverse. So see, I guess it's like maybe not that bad to let Neurosi give you a few things and then defeat her because then you're gonna get to keep all of her gifts. So if she wanted like a little bit of my hair and like one of my teeth or something to give me a couple things, 100%. Because then when she's defeated again, I don't have to give any of the gifts back. What kind of old god is this? I don't know if that makes her a super cool old god because she's like obviously very powerful or a crappy old god. I'm not really sure. Oh, they do wear off? Did I miss? Well, I mean, like Finch's didn't. She still has like her super duper pale skin and like white hair. She like dyes her hair at the end, but did I miss something where like Selena like her ankle or whatever? I was legitimately expecting like her just to like fall over and her ankle's broken again. Or is that just like canon in your head that they do wear off at some point? Girls had to keep going back for touch-ups. Oh, I just thought that I read that as they were like going back just to like get more stuff. The ending seemed to really highlight the YA aspect of the book. Not bad, but like slightly less challenge. Yeah. So it's like it works for a young adult book for sure. Thank you, Annabelle. Enjoying the chat and POVs, even if no follow-up to it comes. I thought it was a satisfactory story told. Thank you. Thank you for the nightmare fuel. Appreciate it. Oops, I didn't mean to close the comments. Okay, Jesus. Okay. So, what did you guys rate it for those of you that did watch it? I'm about to pull up Storygraph and see if I did put in a rating. I think it worked for a YA novel, but there were a few moments that were pretty scary, but I mean, I don't think it was the best horror book I've ever read. I have to get used to the Storygraph here. Jackie, a 2.5 out of 5. Hold on. I have to like click through a I gave it a 3. I gave it a 3 out of 5. I got 2.5, 2.5, 3.25, 2 out of 5, 2.5 out of 5. Jeez. Hub says ending where you keep the gift sounds like demon Hanukkah. 2.5 out of 5 because the romance. Yeah, I think that's why I gave it a 3. Like the romance was cute. It works well for a young adult book for sure. Like I could definitely see this as like a nice like entry to horror. Like if somebody's like like wanting to get into reading horror novels. I wouldn't not recommend this one. I feel like it's, it'd be a nice way to like start without getting into like anything too terribly disturbing. You know what I mean? Okay. So, before we talk about May's read, what else have y'all been reading this month? Like, what is some stuff that you've read and you're loving, horror or non? Because the stack of books I have is like a mix here for sure. I got a little bit of a variety here. I did finish Misery, which I posted a video on. Somebody suggested maybe I don't do the Stephen King videos anymore because it seems like I'm not having a good time. I am, just with like books that I wasn't expecting to have a good time with, like books I never hear anyone talk about. But like some of the bigger ones, like with the exception of Pet Sematary, I'm like not about really. Definitely would have loved it when I was 12. Yeah, probably. The Unconsoled by I'm gonna butcher the author's name. It's been a ride. I know the author name. Never read anything by them. Continuing with my Agatha. I still have not read any Agatha Christie. I feel like I should. That'll be the next reading journey after Stephen King. I'll read the King of Horror, and then I'll read the Queen of Mystery. So I did read Misery. I finally got around to the next Wayfarers book. I'm going to be completely honest. I know I was gushing about Long Way to a Small Angry Planet. It kind of put me in a book hangover for this series because I'd read the first like 2 chapters and we're like leaving the Wayfarer crew and it's different characters. And I was a little bit bummed because I so fell in love with the crew of the Wayfarer. So I dragged my feet a little bit on starting this. And then once I got into it, I realized Becky Chambers is just amazing at writing characters that you love. And then I flew through it because once again, it was just like a super cozy sci-fi read. Like kind of low stakes, just adorable vibes. So I'm sorry I dragged my feet on it. I was wrong. I'll do the I'm wrong song, whatever whatever that meme is. Reading cozy mysteries. I have so many cozy mysteries I have to get to on my shelf. I love a good cozy mystery. They're so like nice and light and just fun. That's what I think of like these books as, like cozy sci-fi, like very low stakes, just cozy vibes. I love a good cozy mystery though. Recommend. And then there were none. Oh, Never Let Me Go. I do recognize that one. I know you're asking Marielle, but reading 2 nonfictions, Out of Office and Ace. Asexuality. Interesting. I think I can probably guess what Ace is about, but I'm going to look up Out of Office really quick. The Big Problem and Bigger Promise of Working from Home. Interesting. Oh, I've seen this. Sorry, I say that a lot working in a bookstore. I'm like, oh, I recognize that cover. I've seen that before. I know. I know. I'm sorry. I was really bummed that we were going away from the Wake Fair crew. So I dragged my feet. I was wrong, and I fully admit it. I will not drag my feet on the rest of the series. I promise you. Also started in Every Generation. Oh yeah, that's the young adult Buffy. I don't know if it's like like a spin-off or what it is necessarily, but I know it's Buffy related. For sure, for sure. I also read a graphic novel, getting like a good mix in here. I read Mooncakes, which is so freaking adorable. I think it's just a one shot graphic novel. I don't think it's going to be a series to my knowledge. Could also be wrong about that. So freaking cute. It's like an adorable like witch and a non-binary werewolf, and it's just really cute. Like, I mean, like, clearly I just need like some cute things in my life, I guess. But this is adorable. It's a young adult graphic novel. So cute. Big like autumnal fall, like witchy vibes. Like if you like that sort of thing. Yes. Um, I didn't actually finish this yet, but I'm so close to being done. I'm including it. Like I'm so close to being done with The Way of Kings. Look, I only have this much left. Okay. I was in the back receiving room all last week at work, so I was able to like listen to the audiobook for 5 days straight while just sorting books. And that's what I did, and I'm almost done. So I'm including it. Okay. This is like 1,300 page book almost. I'm including it. But my favorite, absolute favorite book I read this past month, if you haven't read it yet, The Last House on Needless Street. Oh my fucking God. My jaw was on the floor for like the last like 5 or 6 chapters of this. Like, holy shit. I can't really say anything about it because the ending is such a huge twist, but oh my God, is it so good. It'll play with your expectations of what's going on, or what you think is going on, which I'm also not going to say because yeah, I just like it's just the most frustrating kind of book because it's so good and I want to talk about it with everybody, but I can't say anything to you if you haven't read it because then I'm going to ruin it. So I'm not, but it's so good. It's so good. So good. Sundial by the same author, Katrina Ward, is on my TBR for May because I have to read everything she's written now, even if it's just those 2 books. You just bought it, Shauna. Start it today. Maybe tomorrow. Maybe you start it tomorrow, but start it soon. It's so good. I promise. Mike, buying it now, please. Please. The audiobook is also very good. I wish I had the name of the person who narrates it, but if you're into audiobooks, the audiobook was also fantastic. We trust your word, Vicky. I'm just so excited. Okay. I need more people to read it. So hopefully like Shauna and Mike will. I'm not trying to put pressure on you guys, but you told me that you bought it and you're going to buy it. So I'm expecting you guys to read it so I can talk about it with somebody. Start it today, maybe tomorrow. Start it soon. Please. It's so good though. It really is so good. And if you have read it, like DM me or something so I can talk about it. I got to talk about it with somebody. So far none of my like coworkers have read it or anything, so I'm dying over here. Okay, we'll move away from that. Just to talk quickly about next month's read. And by next month, I mean this month because it's May 2nd. So what we're reading for May is The Fervor by Alma Katsu. Oh, thank you, Annabelle. You just gave me the best recommendations with this. Very a big variety that I read this past month. Thank you very much for the Nightmare Fuel. But yes, The Fervor, Alma Katsu. I'm way ahead of the game this month because NetGalley finally came through for me and I got an e-arc of this, but I had to buy it because I really did enjoy this. And I've loved everything I've read from Alma Katsu so far. I don't know if any of you guys have read like The Hunger or The Deep or anything like that, but she really nails the like historical horror. Like that's not all of her books, but I know that's like kind of her jam right now. And this one is no different. It takes place in the United States during World War II, in a couple of different locations, but pretty predominantly in a internment camp for Japanese citizens, Japanese American citizens during World War II. Um, and there's kind of like a plague-esque sort of thing, a virus that is spreading across the United States, which is like amping up the racial tensions of the time. It was just really good. It was a little bit different from her other stuff, but lots of like just like deep-seated dread throughout the whole book. So I really, really enjoyed it. So I'm excited to talk about it, and I love that I get to like reread parts of it before. I've never been so ahead on a creepy book club pick. Normally I'm reading it, during the month, just like you guys are. But I hope you guys enjoy it. If you decide to pick it up and read it, I would recommend Any Other Things by Alma Katsu. The Hunger is another really good one. But yeah. Also, I guess since it is May and we tend to plan our books in advance, start thinking about maybe some suggestions for what you would want to read in the latter half of the year. I'll probably put a post up on YouTube and on Instagram and on Twitter. So if you follow me on at least one of those places, you'll have access to the link to wherever you can like submit stuff, or you can just like shoot me a DM or an email or something like that if something pops into your head and you don't want to wait and you just want to like let me know. So if you have any suggestions, I'll start asking for them soon, and then I'll probably make a poll or do whatever so we can figure out what we're going to read for the last half of the year, so I can plan it in advance so it could be easier for you guys to jump in and out. So yeah, really excited to talk about next month's read with you guys. If you want to jump ahead, June's pick is also already out as of tomorrow. It hits stores tomorrow, and I don't have a picture of it exactly, but it's the Hacienda, which is down in the corner there. I'm sorry, the Hacienda. The Hacienda? Marielle's in the comments, and she's going to correct me in a second. That is our June read, and it releases tomorrow. So if you wanted to get a jump on that also, you can do so. Just in case you wanted to. I don't know. Oops, sorry. Little pinhead there. You don't have to. Thank you, Jackie. Sorry, I did see you. I was just thank you. I very much appreciate the nightmare for you guys. Thank you. And Colleen, thank you. Love these virtual book clubs. I'm glad. I don't know. I think the Goodreads page is kind of dead. I know it's been up. I had our reads listed through June, but I think I'm going to take down the Goodreads page. I'll probably just put a notice up for a little bit before I take it down. So just make sure, I know this sounds hokey, but just make sure you're following me like on Twitter or Instagram or at least on here. I've been posting like on the community tab on my channel, to give you info on like when the live streams are going to be, what we're reading, that sort of stuff. I think that's working well, and doing the live streams is working well. I don't think we need the Goodreads page anymore. So I think we've grown beyond it. So I'm really glad you guys are enjoying these live streams. I appreciate it. Thank you for bearing with me today, because I've been very scatterbrained, because I literally just ran home and jumped right on a live. Never done that before. I was waiting for you to pronounce it. Hacienda. I've been thinking it in my head every time I see the title. So I appreciate the pronunciation classes. I very much appreciate it. All right. So thank you for coming. Thank you for having a great discussion on My Dearest Darkest. Really lively discussion. Appreciate it. Friday's video is also going to be a live stream. It'll be a monthly wrap up for all the movies I watched in April. We can talk about everything we all watched this past month. So, got 2 live streams this week. It won't be as close a call next week. I know that. Or, I mean, on Friday, I should say. So, I'll see you Friday for another live stream. And yeah, thank you guys for coming. I hope you have a nice rest of your night or rest of your day, wherever you are, and have a good week. I'll see you guys on Friday. Bye.